don't believe in the whole traditional mindset of कि okay 50 लाख में आपको पीछे 2 perimeter लगेगा, इसमें आपको helmet पे logo लगेगा. I think that's a very wrong way to sell any sport to any brand. I think it has to be more that if somebody like Amul को आप जाके बोलो summer time है, summer vacation है, do a school tournament together in Gujarat if they want to start with or something. So I think that is the approach that we'll have to do. And I think the first is mindset. Stop looking it as a sponsorship or donation. That's a step one.
Yeah, please go ahead.
You know, and also I'll candidly say, having done that, right? Like I think a large part of the people who have the money to spend are just plain lazy. They have no imagination. But on the other hand, it's also that, you know, what will I get? Like, will I get the next superstar? Right? Sarfaraz Khan had to wait 8 years to get his shot at, you know, at test him, and then he makes a 50 on debut. But nobody, when they saw Sarfaraz Khan playing in school, would have even imagined that, you know, he's going to have to wait 8 years, right? So it's all a lottery, right? When you're trying to get the next superstar, and I don't think people get that. And I think therefore it's really about, like what Shubhangi is saying, is like, I think brands, like when you're talking about grassroots sports, I also feel like, you know, and what again SFA is doing, is you need a little bit of reimagination. So it's not enough to say, okay, we're doing this tournament, so tali bajao. No, right? What is it that, what are you building? How is it related to what your overall objective is? And I think some of that is very, very important, right? Like that, I don't want to call it the story, but it's really like the impact. We've been talking about impact a lot, right? And like, what is the impact that you're going to create, and how can you as a brand be a part of that journey of impact, right? Because ultimately that's what you want to create, right? Because you want to be able to say that, hey, we made this change, right? So imagine, like, you can either discover one player, or you can create a, I keep using this phrase, but culture of sport, you know, entire district, state, whatever, right? I think that's really the power of, like, that's what you have the opportunity to do through grassroots.
I think one very small point on that. See, we have to stop making villains out of the brand managers as well.
No, they are villains only.
No, but see, at the end of the day, for them, it's bank, like basically where is the most ROI. And they are not wrong in that, because for them, keeping their job is a tax. It's directly proportional to that, right? You as a sports, you have to go and tell them, that's what they are doing, that let's say for 100,000 impressions, you are going to spend this much on YouTube. Come, we will give you same amount of impressions along with a very beautiful story, right? That you are creating an impact.
Yeah, I think brands
have to do that.
To make, brands will ask for ROI, and there's nothing wrong in asking for ROI. पैसा है ना किसी का तो. So you have to create a property that is going to give that ROI. You can't sit like saying, okay, I am, you know, that's so. Like we are making all, like we got our property on Jio Cinema now. SFA Championships is now on Jio Cinema. With this entire thing of make the property good enough for brands to find this as a viable option.
Yeah.
Then it will continue. Otherwise, then it's like just CSR. What is impact is CS. Then get CSR funds.
But impact is one time thing.
No, but I think impact is also ROI.
It is.
The point, right?
It is. But it will be. See, that's exactly why some grassroots level need vision calls.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. But there is a ROI on that vision, no?
Yeah, but you can grow the brand
Correct.
through that impact also.
Correct. So position it differently. Then you will have different, and there are different pots to pitch to. Right? Today, if you are going to go and pitch it to an FMCG, probably the brand manager will only want ROI.
Correct. Numbers.
Right? But you go and pitch it to a Tata or somebody who's building the nation like an L&T or anybody of that sort. It's a very different way or a very different approach that they will have, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
This,
Just coming back
so
to your
it
point.
needs to be किसी का भी पैसा लो उसका वैल्यू तो तुम्हें देना ही पड़ेगा इम्पॉसिबल है
I just have he had a question before that. Yeah.
So the way we look at sports is not just kids or people but they play till the age of 20 or 25. For me, I started running very long in my life when I was very unhealthy at the age of 28, 29. So the way I look at sports is something that can keep me engaged, happy, fit, completely transform my life for the next 30 years. Okay. And India has been evolving. Running has been just one of the single sports which has been doing that for India. in the last 10 years. Okay, so I just wanted to understand what is your view on that part of sports shaping up. More people are taking up badminton, etc. So how does, how when we visit European countries, when we visit New Zealand, Australia, America, we see that sports is a part and parcel of life, not just for the first 20-25 years. It's a part and parcel of life for 60 years.
So can
So
I answer?
how will that shape up? How we can do to shape that up?
Yeah, so just I did it. So I will request you to also go just Google it. What is the economy of all these countries? India is top 5, but at the end of day, then see the side number, which is per capita income. US is at 80,000. Your China is at 13,000. We are at 2.5, right? So at the end of day, मतलब there is this saying in Hindi, भूखे पेट न होए भजन गोपाला. So first, India has to take care of the basic things. Sports will come once our, like let's say if this is your pyramid, most of India is here. Like if you go 2000, I think 80% of the country is below $2,000 per capita per annum kind of income.
So
Once you go above that, all these things will start happening, and we will go.
No, I agree what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. I don't even consider we are 140 crores now, 140 crores population हमारा. Forget about the 90%. Even the proportionate of people who can afford that. Okay, people can afford a 15,000 shoes, or even with Decathlon, running shoes come at 2,000 rupees. But even they are not taking it up. So
How to make it inclusive
even
for
if
a
they are
category?
if you see the percentage of people who are engaging in sports, people who have the luxury, the money, the time, even they are not doing it. And what I want to understand is how will this industry shape up? Or what are your views on this industry?
Not doing what? I want to know.
Not
What are
really
they not
engaging
doing?
into sports or fitness activities. Some
But
of
you
them
are
are
seeing
going
the same guys who are running, right?
Not everyone. He's saying
Not
how do you make it more
everybody. The proportion
inclusive?
of people into running or other sports is still very less. Only one sports like running has really come up. What other things can come up? Or how this-
How do you make it more mass?
So-
Right, in short.
Culturally.
You have kids?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
One.
How old?
6 years old.
6, and what he or she plays what sport?
So we have put her into taekwondo,
Okay.
gymnastics, etc.
And let's say if he or she,
She.
if she wanted to make a career out of taekwondo at 14, 15, you'd back her on that, right?
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, and I think, and would your parents have done that when you were 14, 15?
I think so. I was not good at it.
No, but I'm saying, let's say you were, would like for example, when I was playing cricket, I was allowed to miss my 10th standard prelims,
Yes.
and I failed them. But I think, and my parents were totally okay with it, right? And so, I think that's where what I'm trying to get at is, it's actually when attitudes will stretch, and that is the, I know it sounds like a really dull answer, but to my, and I've been doing this, been involved since I was 13, right, in sport, and that's the only answer, right? Is and so the biggest thing that we can do is how can we stretch people's imagination to expand and allow sport to become as mainstream as academics, right? I mean, and sorry, I know I've spoken a
No,
bit,
please,
but I'll just say this, right? The reason people want their children to be a doctor or an engineer is not because you need to know where the right ventricle is or how to make a rocket, right? But you just want them to have a good life. What if we could tell the world that the path to a good life is also through just sport?
Yeah, but that is
I think,
that's a bit lip service, but
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
His approach is how do you make public health agenda and the recreational athlete part of the segment grow? You are answering the professional or the
No,
aspiring.
I'm not. I'm saying it's also I'm saying it's a culture. See, because not everyone's going to make it to elite level, right? Let's begin there.
No, there are two different segments.
No, but there aren't.
They are.
How,
He's
no,
questioning
Rohan,
on the recreational athlete segment.
So, sir,
but I'm
let
talking about
me
recreation only.
let me answer your question,
Okay.
if I have understood it correctly. See, at the end of the day, if you really want anyone to why all of us are here, right? Because we have some or other inclination, right? And at the end of the day, everyone trusts that TiE, if they are organizing something, it will be of a good standard, right? So you also have to incentivize people, you have to change their imagination. Why running became cool? Because you saw all your Bollywood celebrities, all your business tycoons start doing that. Why do you think today golf is cool? Because all your people are playing, all your ex-cricketers are playing, you have to make it cool as well, right? Because many people, like it's great that, right? Everyone, all of us know that eating salad is great, right? How many of you do? Right? But everyone knows, right? Correct? But still we are not doing it. Same as with
Good
sports,
example.
right? You have to you have to make it cool. If let's say from like, and I was taking pride in front of my wife a couple of days back that I eat salad, and then she deduced that I had a very disciplined, my mother kept me very disciplined, that's why I eat it. So you have to make it cool. Like let's say tomorrow all your celebrities come and say on their reels, if they start putting their diets as well, maybe it might change. So even in like let's say what your popular culture is doing, that also sometimes shapes up that interest.
No, but if
That's
someone
exactly what I'm-
plays golf and
Yeah.
I want to play and go and play golf, where will I go and play golf?
No, so
That-
then running
that
or
is-
cycling, you have to make.
No,
it's-
and
it's
that
not
is a very
the-
important point, and
No,
that is
it's
the
not
access.
the-
But
the
that is also
access
the
is
access,
important.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly where, like, what,
Decathlon comes up.
like decathlon or even
But all
weddings.
the sports in India, we have made them expensive sports. We have
Correct.
done sports of reach. If you, I mean, most of us have stayed in the US or Australia. How much of the time that you spend at this age playing sports in outside country, whereas in inside in India? In India, you have many people who haven't played cricket but talk a lot about cricket. In the US, you won't find people like that. And that also is the case why people don't sponsor, because they haven't played. And they are sitting in the shoes of a brand manager. And he's looking at ROI. ROI is definitely there. But he wants to hear the way he wants to hear it.
Correct.
So that's the problem.
Yeah.
So,
That's a very good point.
because I have played so many sports, and after coming back to India, I don't play any sport at all. In the US, you have bowling, you have basketball, you have tennis, you have access to a lot of different sports, and you can play any time of the day.
I think just if I can answer that, I think at the end of the day it comes from how much drive you have. Like let's say at
No,
one
no,
point-
it's not the question. It's not the
Access-
question.
access-
But that is also a policy thing, right? Which
Yeah.
is where, like, you have, like, there's Khelo India centers today, I mean, and they'll know more. But I think that is also changing, and I think that's the constant theme of the things
We
are
need to
changing.
give time. What I would like
Yeah,
to say,
please.
yeah, we need to give time. Sports and kudos to y'all. Y'all are the pioneers in the sports field. So, but give the time. See, what happened to cricket? If you see cricket,
Yeah.
cricket in India became popular only after 1983 World Cup. Okay, only after Sachin Tendulkar was born, everyone wants to do cricket, and today BCCI is the richest board in the world. Before that, 90s, it did not have money. SportsTech, we are having a panel discussion. It's a big thanks. Let's thanks TiE. So it will take time, yeah, but we have to do it. So ROI, saying ROI shouldn't come first, that's not that, and that's good that you all agree to ROI. SROI will come in, but it will take some time. And only one thing, when you said, let's put reels and all these things, I would just say, let the culture develop on its own. नहीं तो क्या होगा, social media, let not false things come in, let it develop on its own. What is it? So let it go slow. That is
My
the
point
One
was
point
that-
which I'm getting from
Yeah.
that is that I'm one thing is that for everything to succeed, in fact, I was about to tell the same thing. The kind of celebrities who come into the picture, I was just telling, it's a lip service when you were telling, like, unless until there is a public-private participation and the government kind of everybody come together and then work toward, there is a public service advertising of celebrities in other areas, like, okay, in edutech, for example, if Shah Rukh Khan does for Baiju, it's understandable, it's a commercial kind of a thing. But there's a public service advertising in various other fields, but not in sports. Why can't there be a kind of public-private participation along with the government, tripartite kind of a meetings wherein they ask the celebrities to advertise, like, there are people who are successful in kabaddi, successful in various sports. They can be the brand ambassadors for, apart from only Kohli or a Dhoni coming into the picture kind of stuff always. So there can be
Actually,
use
PKL,
cases.
everything that has started to happen, there are a lot of PKL players who are now brand ambassadors of all of these tractor companies, all of these,
No, but not just the brand ambassadors.
JSWs and
Actually
everything
promoting the
also.
sports, going and.
I think that's a mindset change only that everybody has been speaking about, and now we have reached a point, like you said, that there are sports tech panel sessions happening. So I think it's just a few more years of mindset change that will happening. I don't think it will not happen at all. I think India just needs some more
It takes
time.
time.
I have one small saying about this. See, sports should be treated as sports and entertainment, basically. Just understand how the Bollywood industry is.
Absolutely.
Okay. It started off with poor people starting some movies and all of that. And then there were celebrities, and then there were a lot of languages, a lot of people, and Bollywood came out very well. Okay? They became celebrities and all of that. Now just think about sports as such. Okay? I have set up a power sports platform, okay, for rare sports. Okay? Now the rare sports are of different kind. Okay, they are some old games which perhaps you might have got forgotten all of them, and anybody can raise a sport. Okay, and whoever has a best of the ideas, it is taken up, it is put down into the system, and people try to play around with it. It builds up, okay, a community of people to keep on coming out with sports. And I just wanted some thoughts on it. ROI is right now not there great. It's through my own funds. Okay. But basically, I would like, your thought process in it to make it up an industry. How you build it from the grassroots level with sports coming out from a digital perspective. Okay. I'm currently talking only through the digital ways. Okay. And you can play anyway. Okay, and you can bring out also sports of physical sports also. But I would like your thought process in it. How would you like it that, okay, to see as an investment perspective?
But what exactly is the question? Like how you are going to promote a rare sport from grounds up? Is that the question?
Yeah, and bring it as an industry. I'm saying that it is to be made as like a Bollywood industry. Coming out with some people, coming out with that, okay, he's the master of that rare sport. And he's there, and some rules set with related to these sports. I just wanted sort of a thought process in it, that how would you like to become a...
So this platform that you're providing, sir, is it like a LinkedIn kind of a platform?
It's just that, okay, you prepare the rule book.
There could be an established sport that is known and that is played.
Yeah.
Or there could be a game that is not established and you're trying to push.
To push. And
I
some
like
rules.
Kind of, because I'll tell you why. Let's say pickleball. We said pickle 60 साल नहीं 45 लोग में खेल रहा हूँ उतना ही खेल रहा हूँ.
No, it started.
I'm just kidding. I'm just saying. So we started 6 people started. Now we are about 150 people. Okay, and there's no space left for us to book pickleball. Now the thing was, we started it through a WhatsApp group, a bunch of us, right? The power that I like about this, and we can talk later, is there is a sense of exclusivity. Like we have a Formula 1 club in Bombay. A very rich person who's divorcing his wife is also on that. So the problem हो रही है. कुछ और ही बच रहा है. But that said, it's a very exclusive club. What we've seen, the power of that is we are able to negotiate more with Liberty International when we buy tickets. So last year all of us went to Melbourne and we saw it. And we got the best stand and we got it at 35% discount. I'm just saying that was the incentive for us. The NFL, NBA, everybody have similar clubs. They are called super fans, who usually started from a game and became super fans, and then they started promoting the sport. I can see some things there. They're very American, but I think in India there are people who can play. But it's a premium play. It's not a mass play. It's a premium play. That's my two cents.
I think it has to, as you rightly said, it has to come from community. That's the first word. In 21st century, there will be 2 pillars on which every business, at least the consumer side business, will be built. One is content, second is community. If you can sort out the two, if you can make your content aspirational and community exclusive, or like, let's say, because humans, we all talk about brotherhood, things like those. But at the end of the day, we love talking shit about someone else. We like to differentiate, right?
See,
so
we are coming out with crowdfunding platforms where people can put on some money. There's a lot of things which are coming out in that. Some tournaments coming out, some things like that, which can be built up as a environment. And that's what I'm working on.
I mean, also fundamentally, the games themselves will need to be good, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the biggest.
They are actually old games, which perhaps you might have forgotten them. maybe at our age, some people would have forgotten that. But they bring it back to you. And then you feel like, okay, we should play. Okay, and we should do.
Sure. So I think just in the scope of time, we are already 6 minutes, like it's 6:36. One last question from anyone.
I just wanted, being
Sir,
a sports tech.
we can discuss one-on-one.
Yeah,
If anyone who has not
sports
asked
tech.
so far. Yeah.
The question to Shubhangi from our conversation 2 years ago, I mean, and from where he was coming, that now, how many people have been able to build a sports kit? Okay, let's not get into the fact that most of sports search is keyword driven, and then everybody tried to be everything and all that. But from your perspective, how much progress have you, or how much thought have you put into that? That you make stars. Somewhere you have to start making stars. From some of your properties. Has some thought been put into that?
So to be honest, हमारा tagline है हर player बनेगा star at a very grassroots level. I think that is what we like to call ourselves. But like to be honest, first of all, what's the definition of star? Is it like somebody who is just played school level, district level, state level, or somebody who has played for whatever he has played, but he's happy and he is telling everybody that they've played, right? I think that is what my definition of star is. Coming to why there are no more sports kidas, to be honest, I think firstly, people have started shifting from long form content. I think that is one of the main reason why we got into video, is that we would have had an option to just send people on ground to collect data on pen and paper and come back and tell us, right? But the whole point is the shift also from what is happening from long form to actually video content. If you go to our social media platforms, it's all about that how this player from Thane Kabaddi went to PKL, or how this player made an impact, or just glorifying the smallest of the success story that they have achieved in their lifespan. And if we are the lucky ones who have been able to capture that moment, then of course that is what makes them star probably in a way. Yeah.
So I think thanks a lot. You can ask more questions one-on-one. And now over to Nabi.
Thanks everyone. We've got a few sandwiches here, so please.